All right, Hunter, obviously you would rather have played this past week, but this year is the way it is. Do you think it'll lay those a little bit of a silver lining to get back a lot of those guys back? They have the extra week to prepare for this week.
Well, I'm going to be quite honest with you. I'm a little double-edged sword about playing this past week because, yeah, I'm glad to get them back. The reason we're doing the Zoom calls because I'm quarantined. I tested positive as well on Thursday, and there were 5 guys that tested positive, 3 players, an equipment manager, and myself. So it's kind of a weird deal, but I'm disappointed that the players did not get to play. I know they prepared; they were excited about playing. They were excited about playing Missouri Western. They were wanting to go out and play that type of competition, and so I think it's a double-edged sword there. I'm glad to get them back, but I wish they would have played with or without me because they deserved it and they needed to. And we had a plan to celebrate our class, and we'll do that this year, coming up week against Pitt State. Now, I think it hurts us a little bit because Pitt State did play, and we've had a couple weeks off, and it's there's some rust to develop, but we're happy to play Pitt State, and wish we had the other game playing as well. But it's another high class program coming into play. Got a great history, and people say they've been down a couple of years. Down for them, 8 wins, 9 wins a year. So we're excited about Pitt State coming in and showing what we can do.
Are you going to be able to be on the sideline there on Saturday afternoon for the game?
Good question. I'm working diligently with the people about being there on Saturday. But if I'm not, I trust the coaching staff that we have. They ran practice this morning, and I did a Zoom meeting with our players this morning at 5:45 before we started, and just to let them know that hey, things don't change. The standard has not changed just because I'm not there. The expectation has not changed. I expect them to practice hard. And, we have a little saying, control what you can control. I knew it was a little chilly this morning, but you can only control your attitude and effort. And, they weren't too happy to see the background that I'm using right now to Zoom. So I acted like I was on a nice beach in my quarantine, but thank God for the West Texas has a private jet that flew me down into the Bahamas so I could have a beach to lie on and internet. And I'm about to get a lot of people in trouble with that one, I'm sure. But no, I trust our coaches and trust our players. I mean, I think we've got an old enough team to where they're going to come out and they know exactly how to prepare, know what to do, and they'll be excited about playing.
This is the second time this year you guys have had 3 weeks between games. Obviously not planned. From before, dealing with that before, what did you learn about that as far as having to deal with another 3 weeks between games this time?
I think it was a little different. The cancellation came the night, basically 48 hours for the game, or 24 hours for the game between that time frame. And that's why I was so disappointed. I wanted our players to be able to you practice for a reason, and they needed a chance to go out there and all the practice they put in. And we were still down some people, and you had some guys that we could have had step up and see what they could do. So it was disappointing for sure. And, what do we learn from it? It's just, what do you learn? I mean, it's a difficult time and everything going on with everybody. So, you just have to roll with it. Again, control what you can control. We can't control it. The happiest thing about it for me is, the limited number of positives that we had, I think just proves that, we are doing the right things and trying to do the right things to make sure we're on the field. We've had 2 games canceled because of the other team. And, I'm not faulting either team. Missouri Western, I'm hearing, their entire coaching staff, their head coach, their offense coordinator, another offensive guy were tested positive, and the contact tracing knocked out the majority of their staff, and they didn't have anybody really to bring them down here. So I think that's it just happens. And, you again, control what you can control. And make the most of it. And, we're lucky to have another game, the opportunity to go out and play in front of our fans and give 4 or 5 guys a good send-off this weekend.
The same question I asked Butch earlier, Hunter. With COVID the way it was, we're just happy to even have any type of season game to play this year. So are you happy with the progress the team made, limited amount of games you guys were able to play?
Yeah, I mean, I'm extremely happy, especially after the way we played at Angelo State and then the way we responded and played at Stephen F. and then Angelo State here again, and then dealing with all the adversity we dealt with North American. I'm very happy with the way they progressed, with the way the young kids kind of stepped up at times, and they got a taste of what college football is like, and hopefully that'll motivate them through this game and into we will have a spring ball as normal, and so for us, the normality of the football year is here, where you finish your season and you move into your winter workouts and your spring football and our recruiting for coaches and the summer. And so that's the good thing about it, and I don't foresee, I hope that they will be able to play just for the kids that play in the spring, but I think it's going to be very difficult for that to happen. And for us to get 5 games and possibly this 6th game in is going to mean a lot for our players in the future.
What have you seen from Pittsburg State on tape that that you guys will focus on this week?
Very fast defensively. They are very active up in the front 7. I say that because their defensive line can create havoc. They do a lot of movement, and their linebackers, run to the football and fill gaps and flow. So very active in the front 7. Their back 4. I would say that the best way to describe them is they're ball hawks. They get around the football, and they might arrive late, but when they arrive, they're going to arrive with violent intention. So our receivers have to be prepared to catch the ball and squeeze it and make sure that they can hold on to it, because they're going to come and try to hit you. Offensively, I think they got a very solid offensive line. I think their quarterback, I don't think he's the elite or best player on the offense, but he makes everything work, and he's very technical, very fundamental. He knows where to go with the football. It appears that he can check and get them in the right situations. And they're very athletic. They've got a receiver, number 3, that's an extremely athletic receiver, bigger guy, fast, and we're going to have our hands full there. Coaching staff is new this year, and I think they've had a couple of games to get a feel for each other and get in, see what coaches to players and players to coaches in COVID areas. So, I hope they take another week to gel in that aspect, because they're going to be a very physical, very good, fundamentally sound football team coming in.
All right, I got one. Coach,
Yes.
what's been your best memory these past couple of years I've been able to cover you? Just overall for the team. It doesn't have to involve me, but just these last few years, because I've covered you since you got here. So just what's been your favorite memory these past few years?
The first time I met you, Zach. That's probably going to be.
I knew that was it. Damn it. We got it recorded too. Let's go.
Now, you want good or bad?
Both.
I remember, I'll tell the media, and I won't call this person out. I don't know if you were standing there, but in the first wagon wheel game, we got beat, and I was asked a question, and I'll say, Zach, I'll save you. It was not by Zach, but I was asked what I felt like watching Eastern New Mexico run up the hill at Kimbrough Stadium and grab the wagon wheel. And I was first year head coach, and I was, I'd answer that probably a lot differently right now if I was asked that in the moment. But I swallowed what I wanted to say and was very kind and just said, I'm not very happy. Can I answer any other questions, and left. So that's probably dealing with the media, one of the things that stand out. Overall, I think that wagon will win 2 years last year. the win over Pueblo was probably the two of my greatest. The win over Pueblo just because it was the first one and it was my former team, and I knew it wasn't me against them. It was West Texas against Pueblo, and that's the way I played it all week long. And I think that was to get that win was very special. And then, to lose the wagon wheel twice and then to win it, it's kind of like getting a monkey off your back. And that was a lot of fun for me and for our players to be able to experience that. So.
I appreciate it, Coach, for everything.
Well, I appreciate you and best of luck to you in your new job, and don't be a stranger.
Won't be. Maybe if you guys play Pitt State on the road, maybe I could go to that game.
Well, if we make the playoffs, then there's always that possibility. And we will try to play at the MIAA. I think this is good for both conferences too. I think the MIAA, they've been a lock conference in their schedules. And I know I've heard rumors about them trying to get away from that locked conference schedule and play some out of conference games. And certainly that we're in a position and in an area where we would try to play all those teams if we get the opportunity, number one, because I think it'll be just a really good football game, and we'll learn a lot about ourselves, and hopefully they can learn a lot about themselves by playing another good football team. So hopefully it works out, and because I would love to go up there and play in that area and have that opportunity.